Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Move the Machine. Now we're in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota at Essentia Health St. Mary's. They have an MRI machine that's been outside for the last 8 years. That means 80 patients a month have to go outside and brave the cold before they can get this MRI. We're going to take care of that on this week's episode of Move the Machine. All right, now up first on Move the Machine, I want to talk to a staff member here who is very passionate about getting this machine moved. Come on, let's go. Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for joining us on Move the Machine. Since you are the expert, I do have a lot of questions for you. Hopefully you're all right with that.
Okay.
The first one is as far as the technology that is out there right now, that the MRI technology that you have, can you kind of talk about that?
Our scanner's awesome. It's the newest, and it's probably state-of-the-art in the region. It's quiet, the images are great. It's just in the truck.
What are the problems that come up with the MRI technology being outside?
You know, if we're trying to make a good impression on patients, we're bringing them in the front door, then we put them in a wheelchair or we walk with them and we take them through our ER, which who knows what's going on there, out the back door, through the ambulance garage, ducking and weaving, worrying about not getting run over by an ambulance, and then through the back door, out into the wind and weather. And then we take them down the sidewalk, put them on a ramp, hydraulics up into the truck, and then a big garage door, and then all that before we even get into the scan room.
So you're taking the patient from a very comfortable hospital atmosphere here, and then taking them outside in a very uncomfortable Minnesota weather kind of atmosphere.
Exactly.
Well, Denise, thank you so much for joining us again on Move the Machine. Tell you what, we're going to go talk to some patients. Hi, Joy. Thank you so much for chatting with us here on Move the Machine. Joy, let's talk about your experience. What brought you here?
Well, I had a recent ankle injury, and of course that led to an MRI. So that's how I originally got here.
All right. Now describe the MRI process.
It's kind of interesting because, you know, the machine is outside, not inside. So my first MRI years ago was out in the elements, through the cold, in the blizzard, on crutches.
On crutches? All right. Now, once you got into the machine, what was your experience?
Oh, it's awesome. The girls are great. They're so worried about your comfort and everything, right down to, you know, picking out your own music to listen to while you're in there. It's great to be able to do it locally, not have to take a whole day off work to go elsewhere to get it done.
I see. Well, thank you, Joy, for your time. We're going to talk to another patient here on Move the Machine. Rory, hi.
Hi.
Well, thank you for meeting us on Move the Machine.
Not a problem.
I do have a couple questions for you. The first, what brought you here in the first place as a patient?
A couple of years ago, we found that I had a mass in my upper left thigh, and the doctor wanted to have it checked out a little further, so he referred me for an MRI.
Once you knew you had to have the MRI, what was the process then?
Well, I arrived early in the morning, and I had to check in here in the hospital. I was welcomed and made comfortable in the waiting room, and then I was called back to have my MRI. At that time, I left the warmth and the comfort of the waiting room and had to walk through a very cold area to get to the mobile MRI unit.
So now, as a former patient, what would happen if the machine were moved indoors? Would that help you out comfort-wise at all, do you think?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now, if it were indoors and you just went from the comfort of the waiting room directly to someone as Denise is, so friendly and professional, I think it would just be that much better.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story with us here on Move the Machine.
You're welcome.
I have one very special guest that I'd like to talk to here on Move the Machine. Now, we have the opportunity to talk to Peter Jacobson, the president of Essentia Health St. Mary's. Come on in. Well, Peter, thank you for taking the time to talk to us here on Move the Machine.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I do have a question for you since you are the president. Why is this so important to the community to move this thing?
That's a great question, Guy. And it really comes down to the fact that this is all about the patient. And moving the machine and expanding our imaging department creates a great opportunity to improve the patient's experience. It's going to help us provide more privacy, more comfort to our patients, and ultimately increase the number of exams that we can provide locally. We're very excited to have the community help us move that machine.
Tell you what, Peter, let's make this happen.
All
Thanks
right,
for taking
let's
some
do
time
it.
out of your busy day.
Thank you.
All right, now you've heard some great stories, but we came here to do one thing. What are we gonna do? Move that machine!